Hey guys, this YouTube channel is the best, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should. Yeah, in the link below.
Welcome! This is our first official video.
Yay!
I'm pumped. Hopefully you are as well. Look, I thought we'd ease into this series, giving you a bit of insight into who PAO is, who I am, who we are. Okay, and I think hopefully that will help to, through sharing our experiences, some of the hurdles we face, why we're passionate about what we do.
Yeah, and then you can relate with our stories as well. So, yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm ready for this.
So, look, first of all, I'm going to interview Paola so you can find out a little bit more about her. Maybe I'll find out some things as well.
I'm not going to share everything with you.
So, look, first cap off the rank. Obviously, you've probably realised that Paola is not Australian. So, give us a rundown, sort of where you're from, very quickly, where you grow up, siblings, family, things like that.
Yeah.
And probably, let's start with that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I look like Australian now. See the Aussie face? Now, I'm from Colombia. I've been living here in Brisbane for about 7 years now. But in total in Australia around 9 or 10 years. So when I came to Australia, I didn't speak English at all. So if my English is not perfect, it's because I'm still learning, like, I don't know all the words, but I try. I do my best.
I understand most of what she says.
Oh, cool. That's not true. I think that 100%. So yeah, definitely. I love Australia. I feel like this is my second home now. Yeah. So about my family, I have my sister, my nephew, and my brother-in-law living here in Australia with me. So part of my family is here as well, and I have some cousins as well. So before when I arrived, it was just me. So I was living here a few years, just me. So it was like starting from a new country, new language, new word, like everything's from like scratch. So leaving everything back home, like my job, my family, it was hard. But it's starting from scratch, starting from like zero. That made me like stronger. Trying to find myself here. I think that I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm
so,
here now.
Why Australia? Because I know that you were weighing up a few different places.
Yeah, so like that was 2013 when I started like searching about different countries. So my main goal was study English. So Australia had the opportunity that you can study and work at the same time compared to the United States that if you go to study, you kind of work. And obviously I needed money to support myself. So that's why I decided to come to Australia. I was in Perth when I studied English in an English school for a year. That's when I learned my English and I fell in love with Australia. I went back home for 3 years. So I worked there. I gave an opportunity in my back home to work, to start like my working experience and everything there. Then I was like, you know what? I love Australia. I have to go back to Australia. And I came and I gave it a go to Brisbane, to learn another city, to see if I like it. I fell in love with Brisbane. I love Perth, like my heart is in Perth. We have to go to Perth again. But since then, I've been living in Brisbane and I love it. I'm just gonna stay here for a long time. I hope so.
Yeah. So hopefully give you a little bit of insight into Paola, but more specifically, when did you, because you haven't always been in health and fitness, look, some kids are born, and we saw videos the other day of parents training their kids at 2 or 3 years old to lift barbells and lift weights. But
that's
look,
crazy.
99.9% of us don't grow up like that. So what can you remember is like your first experience into health and fitness, or anything health related?
Yeah.
And maybe take us through a bit of that.
So since I was like in high school and all that, I did lots of sports. When you are in school and you do everything like basketball, soccer, everything. And I was always involved like in sports, but not like serious and anything like that. But when I came to Australia, I was more to Brisbane actually. It was more like escape for me. So sometimes everyone's like, oh, I want to get fit, or I want to lose some weight, or But for me, it was more like I had a lot going on around, like trying to find a job, trying to study here, trying to find like place to live, like friends that lately they become like family. Like I was alone here in Brisbane pretty much. So for me, going to like running or doing some exercise, it was like escape, like to forget about everything. It was just Paola, with my thoughts, just, you know, like 45 minutes or 1 hour, just forgetting about the whole world pretty much.
So you didn't do any training when you were in Colombia?
Like, yeah, I did some training, like at the gym. I was like always going to the gym, stuff like that, but nothing serious. Like, you know, it was more like, oh, you're in high school, university, it's like, oh yeah, let's do some sports, but nothing too serious. Like, I've been always going to the gym, but nothing serious. But here, it was more my way to escape back home, no, because I had like my family, my work, everything was, you know, when you have like a comfort zone. So I never thought about that. But here, it was my way to like, yeah, escape about the whole world. It's just me. And it's still like that. It's still like that. When I go to the gym, it's just Paola with Paola. And funny enough, like most of people, they are like with headphones at the gym, or when they train, they always have headphones. But if you see me at the gym, if you see me when I'm training, I never have headphones. And Josh is always like, are you crazy? How can you deadlift without music? And, you know, guys, like, I don't know, it's just like a quiet moment when I'm training. I don't even listen to the music that is around. I don't even listen to whoever is around me. It's just like Paola with Paola in that moment, like thinking about like, you got this, like you got this, you're gonna do it, like one more rep, you got this. So it's more like mindset with myself, and I've been like working towards that since I started training. So yeah, it's weird enough to think when I think about it, but yeah, I don't know, it's just Paola with Paola. I need my space.
Take me back. So when you came to Australia, or like, what was and you've told me the story, but
yeah.
What did you start with first?
Yeah,
like, was it the gym, or was it like?
Yeah, so first I started just running because in that moment I was like, oh, do I have enough money to actually afford to pay for the gym, or to pay for anything like that? And I was just
and that's a common thing. I think even Australians think like that.
Yeah, money is like a important thing. So it was like gyms were like $15 for the students or $20 per week. But in that moment that I didn't have anything secure with work, it was like, oh, I can't afford that. Like it was buying something else or paying for that. So I was like, I want to escape. I want to like do exercise for me. So I was running all the time, starting to run around like the river, all that. But then I was like, I need something else. And then I went to a 45. Funny enough, I work at a 45 now. But that was like 7 years ago. I went to a 45. I like it because it was classes, like 45 minutes class. And then you have the coaches there. They like tell you what to do. They teach you how to do the good technique. They always support you, like encourage you, like you got it, like ding that. So
how's it going?
Ding dang, you got this, boom, boom, boom. And that's me now. I encourage people to do it. So I never thought about it. I like it. So I started going to a 45, and I like it. And I was there like almost for 6 months. But yeah, it started like there. So it was focused 45 minutes every day. I love it and I enjoy it, you know.
So when you went from running to F45, was it like, did you like, I want to lift some weights, or I want to do something more than running?
Yeah, it was not just like, running was good and I love it because it's like mindset, like you're running and it's like perfect time for you. But I'm really competitive as well. So yeah, I am. And so like at 45, it was like there were some girls that they were like, oh, doing really good, and I was just starting. So
but you got into it, I think, from the free classes, right?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do just the free classes, you know, 7 days to see, you know, if I like it, and I'm gonna try another places as well, like boxing. I can't remember them.
And trials are awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
it's a good way to start, like you know, you can test these to see what you actually like. Because sometimes we want to start something, but we don't know what we like. So it's really good here in Australia that you have like 7 days or a week or 4 days or whatever for free. So you can test like, okay, I'm gonna try 3 things to see which one I like, and then start from there. So that's what I did. I think that I tried like a gym, the boxing, and F45, and I really like F45, and I stayed there. After that, I went to CrossFit because I wanted something else, like more.
You wanted the next level.
Yeah, the next level. So I went to CrossFit. I really love it. I really like it. I was really competitive as well. I wasn't the best. Seriously, I wasn't the best.
Having also done CrossFit, which we'll talk about when we share my journey, but it's if you want competition, that's the place to go.
It's so good. The community is so good. What you create in CrossFit as well is. If you do CrossFit, you know what I'm talking about. If you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just got really involved in exercising, and it just became part of my lifestyle. So it wasn't just to escape about my thought. It was just like, oh, I love it. It's just if I don't go, I feel like something's missing through there. I didn't feel very active, or I've been always training in the morning, so I like to train in the morning, and then I'm really active for the rest of the day.
But you know, you got into running, like, obviously for you, but like then you did 45, you did CrossFit, which obviously very social. Was that something you grew to like need, or was it like a benefit of it, or?
Definitely, you like. Oh, I like to be part of like a team. You know, when you feel part of something, that's like you feel like, I don't know. I feel good when you feel part of the community, part of the team. You do all these activities as a team, and you work together. It's always like partnered up with someone. So you start creating these relationships that help you to be better every day. But if you don't have anyone to tell you like, oh, you're doing great, let's go, let's do it. Sometimes you need that extra push, extra person to say like, you got this, like, you got this, let's go one step forward, you know? So you need that support sometimes to someone to actually tell you what you already know, but you need that extra person to say like, yeah, you got this, babe. You got this.
I got this.
You got this. You got this.
We all doubt ourselves, and I think that's why a lot of people, you know, do F45 and do CrossFit. But even some of the clients we work with, you know, like that's a big part of what we do. It's not just education, but it is just that support. You know, when people are working, you know, out by themselves, they're going for a run by themselves, you know, they don't have someone by the side. They don't have someone sort of tapping them on the shoulder and keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
We all need that.
And yeah, after that, I was like, I love this lifestyle. Why? You know, when you start asking yourself a few things, and I was like, what do I love? What do I really enjoy? Do I love what I'm doing as my work in that time? I was like, why don't you follow what you really like, what you really love? And I started asking all these questions. I think that everyone's been in this moment, like you are like, what I'm doing with my life, like, and I'm doing like what I really love, and do I see myself doing this in 10 years, or do I see myself doing something else? And I was like, I love doing exercise, I love training, why I just don't study this? And I started studying like really serious about fitness and all that.
What was the main trigger for that? Because I think you're skipping a few steps.
Yeah, no, there were, there are a few things. Like doing CrossFit, I hurt my back, my lower back, so I got herniation in the one of the discs in the low. I don't know. Yeah.
Which, if most of us probably know, it's not something you want.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you want. That like I
a bit scary.
Yeah, really scary, and also I kept training, so I made it worse. But in my mind, I was like, I'm good, I'm fine. I'm just gonna keep training. And you know, when you're training, you don't feel the pain because you're really warm up, so your muscles are warm. You don't feel anything. But then every time that I got home, I was like, oh, this is so painful. One day I couldn't even walk out from the car. I was driving and I just like got home and I couldn't move myself. It was so painful. I was like, okay, this is serious. Like, you know, like I shouldn't wait until that moment to actually take this like serious. Sometimes we do it. Like sometimes we still like, we're like, I don't know, we feel some pain and we're like, oh, I'm fine. But we actually should stop and say like, okay, if it's painful, like what should I do? Like,
especially over and over again.
Yeah, so I had to go back home actually. I went back home for 3 months because here was really expensive for me to cover like all the medical things and all what I needed. So really like sad. I had to go back home. I did everything there. I was in therapy like for 3 months, really boom, boom, boom every day. And the doctors were like, oh, you are not going to be able to run anymore. You're not going to be able to live anymore. Like they always like,
they try to dramatize.
Yeah, but in somehow sometimes I have to say that because they didn't say that I will like next day go to CrossFit and then do deadlift. So I took it really serious in that moment. I was like, okay, this is serious. But inside me, I was like, nah. I'm gonna be able to run again. I'm gonna be able to deadlift again. I'm gonna be able to lift again. So it was more through that I was like, I'm gonna learn the good way to go back step by step, like really slowly, but I'm gonna do it for me. So when I started like reading and searching and all that, it was more because I needed. It was for me to learn what could I do to get to what I wanted to be. That it was to go back, you know.
And I think, I mean, on CrossFit, like that's probably the one criticism that most people have is that, you know, it is one of those setups where you can get carried away and excited through the competitive nature of it, through lots of repetitions at, you know, Olympic lifts, like snatch and deadlifts and cleans and all that sort of stuff.
Fun stuff though.
Yeah, it's super, super fun, but I think that is a potential downside of it, you know.
Yeah, and if you are not like really professional, like if you don't know the technique properly, that's when all these injuries kind of start, because you are competitive and you're like, oh, I can do it, and then you just really get into like the time that you have to get, I don't know, 21 reps and really quick, all that, and you're like, yeah, I got it, but you're not thinking like, okay, am I gonna finish that 21 reps with a good technique, or I'm just gonna do 5 good and then finish just because I need to finish. So there are some really good people that really like, you know, they don't have injuries or anything, but yeah, it wasn't the best. I was just learning. It was like 1 year doing CrossFit. A lesson for me, definitely. Now I'm really focused on like technique. I want to do it, you know, to get better performance and taking care of these injuries.
So you came back from Colombia after those 3 months, right? And what did you do straight away? What did you get into? How long did it take you to get into something?
Yeah, so as soon as I came back, that was COVID. So COVID time started. So I lost my job, of course. Of course, because I was 3 months back home. So they didn't wait. They didn't wait for me.
They didn't hold a job.
Yeah, that was that. So as soon as I came back, it was more like I need to find a job. I need to find a place to live. All that again, and COVID. So for me, actually, I know like COVID was like, you know, like a lot of things happen through that process. Like a lot of people lose a lot of things and all that. But internal for me, it was time for me to think like what I said before, like what I do with my life. What do I like? Where do I see myself in a few years? What do I really love the most? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start studying because I'm gonna be able to run again, be able to go to the gym, be able to train again, and that's how I started. So we had a lot of time at home because we couldn't.
Lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown. It wasn't really long here in Brisbane, but it's still like we were really. We have precaution at home, so we prefer not to go out and all that. So I started like all these studies. I did the Cert 3, the Cert 4 in fitness.
Because you loved it, as you said before.
Yeah, because I started reading and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like I really want to do it. And I just think to myself, what about if I do this as a living, you know? Like that's the good thing about Australia. Like you can dream about anything. If you want to become anything, you just do it. Like there are no obstacles. So you just like do it, but really work hard toward that.
Well, the obstacles in most cases, I'm not going to talk about this like lots in the future, but a lot of the obstacles we face are their own obstacles.
It's just stop us to do things. That's it. It's like, you just put, we are the one who put the obstacles really. It's like, I'm not ready, or I haven't finished this study, or I should read another book because I'm not ready, or I need to practice more. It's like, nah, just go, put yourself out there, do it. That's it.
Even finances here in Australia. I mean, everything's can be put on a loan system, or you pay it off week by week. I mean, it really is much easier than people think. But keep going like that,
I started all that. I like I had another job as well after COVID passed and everything. I got a job in an office, so it was full time.
But what were you doing through COVID? Like, what kept you going with the training? You said like running like the stuff. But...
No, because we were at home. I was training from home. Like following videos. Like I was following videos on Instagram, Facebook Live, because in that moment it was a lot of like Facebook Live. So I was just doing it, and I got like lots of resistance because I was training from home all the time, like with my body weight, with some dumbbells and stuff that I had at home. I didn't have like big equipment to start with. You don't need like a lot to start with. It just became again part of my routine. I was like, I love it. I just want to keep doing it. And after COVID, all that, was like, I want to go to the gym. I want to really start from the scratch, from everything. And I studied in the gym, and then I needed something else. I was like, I need a guide, and then I found a coach, but that's another story because I became really serious and I just got into bodybuilding, and then I just started my own company, my own business as an online coach and personal trainer as well. I started working as a personal trainer, and everything started from there. So COVID for me was a good thing, internal, to find myself, to find what I love. That's what I'm doing now. So yeah, definitely.
And I think even other things, like the injury. I think the injury is a really interesting one because for a lot of people that would have put them off training altogether. But if anything, that just changed your focus.
Definitely. It's like, for me, when something is not working, it's like, okay, that's not going to stop me. It's like, what I'm going to do to like do it. And I really always focus with things. If I want something, I work really hard to get it done. So I just work hard. And I love it. I love the lifestyle what I built so far. It's lots to do still. I'm still like building slowly. And I can do deadlift now. Yeah.
We were just watching your technique videos before this, actually.
It's so good to watch your videos. It's good to record yourself because you start watching when you started doing exercise, and then you compare to what you're doing now, and it's like, look how I improved. Like really good. I have a goal with deadlift, and I'm working towards that, and that gets me really excited. I still have the injury. It's there, like it's never gonna go away, but I really take care of it. And it's been a process. It's not like, next day I was deadlifting. Like, no, it took me a few years to build that up. And that's me.
I think that's really interesting, and I think hopefully it goes to show that again, lots of obstacles along the way, but if anything, that just kind of helped shape the journey you've had, and no doubt the journey you're gonna have. So hopefully you guys kind of get a bit of an insight into that. Like I think it's easy to look at. Certainly for me, probably the same for you, Paola, is that when you see other like fitness influencers, you see other coaches, you see other people that may be doing better than you, and you think, their journey's been pretty easy, or but there's always more than meets the eye, and I think when we start to appreciate that again, and hopefully by us sharing some of those insights with you, hopefully that'll help you if you're facing an obstacle. If there's something that like an injury, like a financial thing, like you're doubting yourself. Hopefully, us sharing a journey, us sharing some of the things our clients have faced and what they've overcome.
And you get related with things like everyone goes to tough stuff or like everyday things. But it's how you see things, how you change, like to be better next day. That's it.
Alright guys, look, hopefully you really enjoyed that. As we said in that introduction video, make sure you click subscribe, follow our journey. There's going to be lots and lots that we cover. I'm excited from this video. This was good. Yeah,
it was pretty good. I hope you like it. I hope you like my story. We're going to share Josh's next time as well. Then you get to know him as well.
Alright guys, thanks, and we'll see you in the next video. Wow!
Voila!
Lots to come.
Definitely subscribe because it's going to be a lot of content that you can't miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Let's do it.